Call me crazy, but I think I found the love of my life. That's right. Where you ever been? You least expected. Ooh, and you came that crazy there. Come on. Come on, Jazz. You like that fire? Just let it burn. Alright. Peace, fam. There's some things that's different. Let's address the elephant in the room. I cut my locks. I had to, and I'll go further into why. But I was hesitant on sharing this information because I was ashamed. I was, as in past tense, and it was because I wasn't prepared to then face the reality of some of the choices that I've made in the past, or just different things that drive me to make certain decisions. And I haven't felt comfortable enough to be vulnerable with people to share my experiences. I have since then realized that I am not alone. Of course, like, you are not alone. I'm not. You're not. We're not. What I experienced is something that other goddesses experience. They, have similar things that they go through that lead them to make certain decisions that are similar to the ones that I've made. So, just get right to it. I cut my hair. It's probably been about 2 weeks now. And what initially drove it was what I described it then as like one of those Britney Spears breakdown moments. And initially it was. There was a lot of things changing internally, but also externally. I was going through a breakup with somebody that I have been very close to. Actually, he is still my best friend, and it hit me pretty hard because it brought back different emotions that I felt in regards to my dad and the relationship or lack thereof that I had with him. So it definitely brought light to having to feel like I have to be somebody else in order to receive the love that I naturally deserve, that I naturally share and put out to others. This is so ugly that I'm crying right now because this is not the plan. It was not the plan cutting on this camera. Let me just get myself together real quick. Alright, so it definitely brought those same emotions to mind. Part of me didn't feel adequate for him, and I now know that that is not true. I am very aware of my worth and what I deserve, and he wasn't abusive. He wasn't mean, I guess you can say, to me. Again, like I said, he's still a very close friend, whether we're together or not. But initially, when I started my freeform lock journey, it was definitely a decision that I made for me. It was something I was very excited about. I'm still very excited about doing. in the future, I'm going to grow my hair back out and lock up again. But right now, I really had to figure out what I was doing and making sure that I was doing it for me and not for anybody else. He is a very, very black man. And when I say very black, I mean he loves black women, and he loves natural black women. And we've had a conversation previous about how the black woman growing her hair out to from an afro to free from locks is like the most natural way a black woman can present herself, and how beautiful that was. And again, I was definitely doing that journey for myself, but I was influenced by his idea of beauty. That those type of decisions isn't new to me in regards to presenting myself in a manner or in a way that I feel will be accepted to those that I want to be accepted by. I had to cut my hair because I didn't do it all the way for me. I didn't make that decision entirely for me and my growth, which now that I think about, subconsciously resulted to that, because here I am sharing this part of me that I never would have thought that I would. Growing, evolving before my eyes, before your eyes. Who you see today is not who you would have met yesterday or who you may meet tomorrow. Since then, I'm continuing to learn my worth and who I am as Elise. And what does that look like to me? Who do I want to be? Who is the woman that I aspire to be? It is not one that makes decisions based off of someone else's preferences, but one that makes decisions based off of my inner desires. The hair was holding that energy of wanting to be accepted. Because the first year that I started growing my hair, I would say for like the first 10 months, I wore my hair wrapped up. Whenever I walked outdoors, my hair was wrapped. And a part of it was because I didn't want to receive the energies of other people by them asking me, well, what are you doing with your hair? What is this? Like, I didn't want to deal with that shit. Like, I just didn't want to have to be answering questions. Like, I don't want to fucking talk to you about the shit. Like, get the fuck out my face. So I wrapped my hair to avoid that whole conversation. Another thing was because I was avoiding probably the feeling of being inadequate. Like, like even when I started wearing my hair out, I wasn't 100% comfortable with myself. And it had nothing to do with the hair. It was all me. It was all me. It was just coming through in externally. I'm sharing this because I was watching a video from Earth Mama Medicine about, sharing your experiences with the world. And this was my experience. I fell into a depression. I mean, even before I cut my hair, I was having episodes of feeling depressed. I was not depressed. You are not depressed. You feel depressed. You are not depression itself. You are experiencing that feeling. Okay? Please be careful with the words that you say, because you are manifesting these things into your life. Okay? Words are spells that you are casting upon yourself. So please be mindful of the things that you are putting out into the universe. So I was having feelings of sadness, having feelings of depression, having feelings of inadequacy, and it was because of the lack of self-confidence that I had within myself, in regards to the opposite sex and being appealing to them. I am here now, looking like a straight baddie. Like, I mean, even with my locks, I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you, me. But also with a new attitude. I had to, and I am still relearning myself. I'm still relearning who the fuck I am. Like, I am, the black woman is God, and you need to know this. The black woman is God in every aspect of it. If you're unsure, if you can't buy into it yet, yo, look up Young Pharaoh on YouTube. Black woman is God. He has a lecture. He has a few things up there that he talks about that, but there's this lecture out there that's like 3 hours long. I haven't seen all of it. I was watching some of it today. But even if it's not him, Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, like, there's people out there that breaks it down. But I like Young Pharaoh because he's relatable. Like, he's a hood nigga with intellect. You feel me? He's somebody that you can relate to, somebody that I relate to. And when I mean intellect, like, he's spitting out scientific words and, you know, quoting different people and projects, experiments, all of these things that supports this. This isn't something that is just made up to enhance the confidence of black women. This is scientific fact. This is intellectual fact. This is spiritual fact that the black woman is God. And these are things that I am, you know, that I knew, but that I had to relearn because I allowed myself to be ingested by society and even other people's views of how, not only how I should look, but also how I should act, how I should dress, how all these other things that I shouldn't have gave a fuck about. Just putting too much focus into things that wasn't my own, too much thoughts that didn't belong to me. So here we are at 13 minutes. I'm not gonna make this shit like super long, but this is what it is. Like, I cut my hair. It was the best thing for my mental well-being, my spiritual well-being. My cat is tagging the fuck out my hand right now. Like, she is jabbing me, which is another sign for me to sign the fuck off. But really, if you're watching this and you have any doubts about who you are, stop that shit, okay? Especially if you're a black woman. Stop that shit. Because again, we create our reality with our thoughts, with our emotions. Whenever we are giving energy into something, whether if it's a thought or it's an ideal, we are creating that for our reality. If you don't want it for yourself, don't feed it. Do not give it energy. Leave it alone. Let it die. Let that shit die. And that's what I'm doing. I have made room for the old version of myself to die and for this new version of myself to resurrect and to grow and to be prosperous and abundant and beautiful inside out. I am one. I am whole. I am grateful. I am loved. I am beautiful. And I am signing off. Peace, fam. I trust that all is well and will continue to be well. Holla at me.